Good morning.
It's not working either. Can I just?
Yeah.
Good morning, Chair. We're just waiting for a few others to join.
No worries. I was on a little early this morning, just making sure my equipment was working right.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, good morning, Shane.
How are you this morning?
Well, so far so good. It's Friday. We made it. So,
There you go.
well, let's say we made it to the day. We haven't made it through the day, I guess. I should clarify. Good morning, Alejandra.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you this morning?
Good, thank you.
Good. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday.
Good morning.
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 I think hello there. I think we've got everybody here.
And Chair, Commissioner Walther texted me this morning saying he's unlikely to make it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you for that.
And also an update, Commissioner Barnes is without internet. He most likely won't make it as well.
Okay, easy enough. Thank you for that. All right, with that, we are 8 o'clock straight up, so let's go ahead and get started this morning. So with that, I'd like to call to order the Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners for this day, Friday, April 4th, 2025. And I will go ahead and lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you for that. And if I could have the department please take a roll call.
Chairman Rogers,
Here.
Vice Chair Young,
Here.
Commissioner Barnes, Commissioner Bourne,
Here.
Commissioner Booth,
Here.
Commissioner Caviglia,
Here.
Commissioner Keel,
Here.
Commissioner McNinch, Commissioner Walther.
And I will let you know Commissioner Barnes is trying to join via phone.
Okay,
Says he's
perfect.
on, but not as a participant, but not as a panelist yet.
All right, easy enough. Thank you for that. Yeah, we will make note when Commissioner Barnes joins us. How about any county advisory board members? Any county advisory board members in attendance today? And if so, if you'd please take yourself off mute and identify yourself.
Not that I see, Chair, and Commissioner Barnes has joined us on the phone, but there is no way to make him a panelist. So he will be a member of the audience.
Easy enough. No trouble for that. Thank you and welcome, Commissioner Barnes. All right. So again, no county advisory boards present today?
Not at the moment, no.
All right. So with that, we will close item number 1, move on to item number 2, and this is public comment period. Public comment period will be limited to 3 minutes. No action can be taken by the commission at this time. Any item requiring commission action may be scheduled on a future commission agenda. Persons making comments are asked to begin by stating their name for the record. So with that, is there any public comment today?
No, sir, no public comment. And just to let you know, Commissioner McNinch is trying to join us, but no public comment.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. And we will make note when Commissioner McNinch joins us. So with that, given no public comment, we will close agenda item number 2 and move on to agenda item number 3. This is approval of agenda. For possible action, the commission will review the agenda and may take action to approve the agenda for April 4, 2025. The commission may remove items from the agenda, continue items for consideration, or take items out of order. So with that, is there any comments regarding today's agenda? Questions? All right, I don't believe there is any comment, question on agenda. with that, I will put it out to any public comment regarding today's agenda. Any public comment here via Zoom on today's agenda?
No public comment.
All right, thank you. And with that, I'll bring it back to the commission for any other questions, concerns, motion.
Chair, I'll go ahead and jump in on this one for the comment to make a motion to approve agenda item number 3, approval of agenda.
I'll second.
All right, perfect. So we have a motion for approval of today's agenda as presented. We have a second on that. I believe that was Commissioner Cavilla, I believe. All those in favor with aye? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries for today's agenda. All right, moving on to now agenda item number 4. This is Legislative Committee Report, Vice Chair Paul Young for possible action. A report will be presented on the committee's recent meetings. The commission may review bills of interest and any associated amendments, consider legislative committee recommendations, and may take official positions on those bills. The commission may also choose to develop platforms on bills by supporting or opposing general concepts. Bill and BDR language may be reviewed online at the listed HTTPS link that was attached to the agenda. So with that, I will turn it over to Vice Chair Young.
Thank you, Chair Rogers. So a quick update. We're about halfway through the legislative session, barring we don't have a special session. June 2nd is the end of it. And with that, we have several bills to go over today. And I will probably pass it over to the department's Alejandra Medina to start us off on kind of where we're at, and we'll go from there.
Good morning, Chair Alejandra Medina, Management Analyst for the record. As Commissioner Young said, we have reached the halfway point in the 2025 legislative session, and we're quickly approaching 2 critical deadlines for non-exempt bills. The first one is the committee passage deadline, and that one is coming up on April 11th. And the second is the first House floor passage deadline, and that one is coming up on April 22nd, 2025. So with that in mind, I will go through the legislative tracking list, provide an update on each bill one by one to allow for discussion and any necessary motions. And please note that all bills and their amendments are hyperlinked in the legislative tracking sheet so that you guys may follow along with the information being overviewed. And I will also share my screen. And we will start at the top of the list. SB 235. Oh, go ahead.
Alejandro, yes, Alejandro, I apologize. Is there any way to possibly increase the size of the material on the screen? If there is, great. If not, no worries. But I just wanted to see, it is a bit small, if there was a way to increase the size on that. Aha, perfect.
We lose a little bit, but does this work for you?
Yes,
Beautiful.
thank you.
You're very welcome. We've got Senate Bill 235 to start us off. This was last heard March 11th in Senate Natural Resources, and no action was taken. Currently, there are no upcoming hearings scheduled for SB 235. At the March hearing, Senator Hansen proposed an amendment to Section 3, subsection 4, which removes the word take, allows for the collection of bones, and clarifies the situation in which skulls, heads, and bones may be taken without a tag. He did also mention in Section 1, leaving the word may. He had changed it to shall. The department shall establish regulation, but he discussed leaving it as may to avoid fiscal note, but we haven't seen that official language come out.
Thank you, Alejandra. So just again, and we've already voted on this one. However, now there's an amendment, so I believe we'll probably take a vote on it again. This is Senator Hansen's deadhead bill. The removal of take improves the bill in Section 4. With that being said, and then also as to Section 1, The change from may to shall will remove the fiscal note off of it. With that all being said, I believe there's still concerns on the removal of section 2, and as well as in section 4, although the word take, which improves the bill, was removed, there's still no check-in or any kind of contact that the department would have with an individual picking up a deadhead. So I believe there were still concerns there. So with that, I will open it up for the commission, or we can have the department discuss this bill as well. All right. Not seeing anything from the commission, we will put it out for public comment.
No public comment.
All right, thank you, Linda. So we'll bring it back. And again, the only change on this is the word take. And I believe, at least myself, that although improve the bill and appreciate Senator Hansen, working with stakeholders on this bill, I believe there's still concerns from my end, specifically with section 4. I would like to see some kind of a contact with the department when an individual picks up a deadhead. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and with that, Vice Chair Young, yes, I'm in agreement with that as well. I had an opportunity to kind of review the information that was presented, and in agreement with yourself and liking and wanting to see some type of contact with the department around that. So that's where my head's at with this.
Yeah, and I guess I agree as well. I would like us to do something with the deadheads, but I would like to see a component where you had an extra period to check it in with the department if you picked it up. I think that would be a critical component. And I missed the last commission meeting, but section 2, I also have concerns with, and I would imagine that the department does as well with that proposed language on section 2.
All right. Well, with that, if there's no further discussion, I might go ahead and make a motion on SB 235 with the proposed amendment. And I'll make a motion to be in opposition at the time on SB 235.
And I'll second that.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. All right. I believe it's unanimous. And the motion was from myself, and I believe Chair Rogers was the second. All right. Thank you, Alejandro. Next bill.
Thank you. The next bill is Assembly Bill 242. AB 242 was last heard March 11th in Assembly Government Affairs, and no action was taken. There is no upcoming hearing scheduled for AB 242. As introduced, AB 242 has received one letter in support from Sakrizan Engineering and one letter of opposition from the Sierra Club Toyabe chapter. However, there has been an amendment proposed by Assemblymember DeLong, which rewrites the council's responsibilities in establishing a program to mitigate damage to sagebrush ecosystems in its entirety. With this amendment, the sagebrush ecosystem would now be required to outline the necessary content of an application for debit projects and credit projects, develop a process for the review of and decision on applications, develop a process for the determination of the amount of credits and debits on a project, develop a process for the periodic review of credit projects and debit projects. And the amendment also establishes an effective date of January 1, 2027. And as a reminder, the board did vote to take a neutral stand on Assembly Bill 242 as introduced.
Perfect. Thank you, Alejandra. So as Alejandra correctly outlined, we took a neutral position. There is an amendment from Assemblymember DeLong. I don't have much more on this bill. I don't know if the commission would like to have the department potentially weigh in their thoughts on AB 242 and the conceptual amendment that's been proposed by Assemblymember DeLong. Yep, perfect. So Director Janae or whomever at the department, maybe we could have just the department's weigh in on AB 242.
Thank you. I'm looking to see what we've got as far as backup. I will say initially I reviewed this bill. I think made a comment at one of the last meetings about this was it was trying to develop the specifics of the program into NRS. It looks like the current amendment, I'm trying to understand the current amendment. Because much of what is in that amendment, by my understanding, already exists. And so I'm having a tough time understanding. Maybe it's that they want that explicitly within regulation, and I'll ask Allie if she has any further information on this. I apologize, Chair. I don't have a great answer right now. And I don't have a phone a friend that I can see in my lineup, but as it was previously, it was trying to take what is currently policy within the SEC and developing it into statute. And so it would be rather hard and firm versus the flexibility that is often necessary, as you can imagine, in something like the mitigation system, where good deal, where we need flexibility. And I will absolutely pass along. I understand I have a phone a friend with Division Administrator Mark Fries is willing to help me out here.
Can you guys hear me?
Gotcha, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark Fries, Habitat Staff Specialist for the record. Yeah, Director Janae's correct. A lot of these processes already exist. They're just in user manuals. And so the bill and the amendments really to codify those in NRS. I think one of the drawbacks of that is having to go through this rulemaking process when changes occur to the HQT and debit and credit process. But at this point, my understanding is there's another amendment possibly coming, but nobody's seen that yet. I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Mr. Fries. Any questions from the commission? All right, I don't see any. So I think with that, we'll take it out for public comment on AB 242.
No public comment.
Thank you, Linda. We'll bring it back to the commission. I and appreciate Director Jane and Mr. Fries, your updates on AB 242. And it sounds like there's another amendment coming. I think at this point, I'm going to be in neutral on AB 242, and the amendments, it won't change where I'm at right now. Anything else from the commission? All right, if not, I'll go and make a motion that the Department of or Board of Wildlife Commission be in neutral on AB 242.
I'll second.
And I'll second.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Cavilla. You beat him. So with that, we've got a motion for myself and a second from Commissioner Cavilla. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Looks like we have a unanimous vote on neutral on AB 242. Thank you, Alejandra. Next bill.
Thank you. The next bill is AB 85. I'll just be giving you an update on this one. AB 85 was last heard February 26, 2025 in Assembly Natural Resources. No action was taken, and there are no upcoming hearings scheduled for AB 85. The board voted to take a neutral stance on AB 85 as introduced. Next, we've got another update, AB 59. AB 59 was scheduled for a work session on March 31, 2025 in Assembly Natural Resources, where a motion to amend and do pass was successfully made. The department worked with Assembly Member LaRue Hatch to create an amendment which creates a feeding exception for any bird feeder within 100 feet of a private residence. The Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners voted to support Assembly Bill 59 as introduced. And apologies, I said I was giving you guys an update, but there was an amendment presented. So this is something you would have to take a vote on.
Thank you, Alejandra. And I believe this bill has been worked on and there's an amendment, so we will be discussing again. And again, I apologize, Director Janae or whomever at the department. Can we just briefly discuss, as this is the department's bill, what the amendment does?
Yes, thank you. So for the record, Alan Janae. And so when we were making this presentation previously to the committee, Natural Resource Assembly Committee, there was a concern brought up relative to bird feeders and the possibility of bird feeders attracting quail, which in this regulation are defined as game birds, and would be in this list of species that would be illegal to feed. And so what we did is we added bird feeders that are within 100 feet of a residence as an exemption to this regulation. There was already coverage for I'm forgetting the terms, but incidental and unintentional feeding of wildlife. And this just added this to another piece of that clarifies explicitly that these bird feeders within 100 feet of a residence will not receive a citation. Additionally, within this regulation there is a caveat that is called out that says in the first time, any first time incident is simply a warning that there will be no other action in this, and that's part of the previous regulation. But as far as this amendment, kind of jokingly call it the grandma clause to make sure that grandma's bird feeder isn't a citable offense.
Thank you, Director Janae. All right, any questions on AB 59 or the amendment? All right, with that, we'll take it out for public comment on AB 59.
No public comment, Vice Chair Young.
Thank you, Linda. We'll bring it back to commission. So I believe we took a previous support. Appreciate the department working on this bill, and I'm in support of the amendment on AB 59. So with that, if there's any other questions on AB 59, I'm ready to make a motion. All right, with that, I'll make a motion to support AB 59.
And I'll second.
All right, Chair Rogers beat Commissioner Caviglia that time. So I've got a motion for myself, a second from Chair Rogers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Passes unanimously on AB 59 in support. Alejandra, next bill.
Thank you. This one is just an overview, AB 87. The Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners voted to support AB 87 as introduced. AB 87 has not been scheduled for a hearing and there are no upcoming hearings scheduled. However, AB 87 is an exempt bill, which is not subject to the introduction or passage deadlines for processing bills.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, we've got Assembly Bill 9. Assembly Bill 9 was scheduled for a work session on March 24, 2025, where a motion to amend and do pass was successfully made. As introduced, AB 9 has received one letter of opposition from the Water Strategy Group. There has been amendment submitted by Assembly Member LaRue Hatch, which updates the temporary conversion of agricultural water rights, allowing for improvements in water quantity and reducing the maximum duration from 10 to 5 years. It prohibits conversion if the owner has received a non-use notice from the state engineer, or if the conversion is for perfecting a water right or proving resumed use. The amendment ensures temporary conversions aren't considered consumptive use and aligns them with groundwater management plans and priority right rules. The state engineer can deny conversion not in the public interest, and after expiration, water rights revert to their prior use. It also exempts water rights linked to certain conservation programs from forfeit provisions. The Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners voted to take a neutral stance on AB 9 as introduced.
Thank you, Alejandra. All right, we'll bring it back to the commission, and AB 9 is a water bill, as Alejandra just reviewed. And I'd like to open it up to Director Janae or someone at the department to discuss where they're at or their interpretation of AB 9.
Yes, thank you for the record, Alan Janae. And so, in the overview of this, as this first came forward, the department was in support of it. And we, seeing the benefit in this temporary water transfers, when it's going towards wildlife uses, that would reduce the number of times that a person would actually have to touch this. Currently, it's a 3-year timeline. This is extending it. And so that was what we saw as a benefit was, in these circumstances where they are for beneficial use of wildlife, it would reduce that workload and that timing. I think the amendments that were brought forward are trying to address some of the concerns that they were hearing from industry and other water right holders. I think it's still it's close. I think there's probably still some comments from industry that may need to be considered, but I think the amendment's close, and I think the department is in a place where I think you guys were neutral previously on this, and I could probably see the department being such without knowing all the circumstances of what this amendment and the discussions around them are. It's kind of as with water on all issues, it's a complex piece. As you jerk on one side of the thread, it's connected to many other things. And so it's in our sense, I would say it's a neutral with the support of what we saw originally, we liked. But seeing the amount of amendment that's come forward, I would say it pushes us to that neutral position of seeing where this conversation goes. And
Thank you, Director Dan.
I do have a text from Commissioner Barnes that he's got a stance on this bill. When you get to that point, I can give that, or we can try to make sure that he is brought in via phone.
Yes, Director Dan, and appreciate the update. And yes, would love to hear from Commissioner Barnes and potentially Commissioner Kill on this bill. So I don't know how we get him out of the waiting room.
I've just asked him to speak, so if he could unmute himself.
Sending smoke signals right now. There he goes.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Not a lot. I really don't have a lot to add to this. Like I said, I think I did a little checking on this morning, and nobody quite knows where this is headed, really. But I guess I would just like to be neutral on it at this point, just like Alan discussed earlier. That would be the only comment that I have.
Perfect. Thank you, Commissioner Barnes. All right. Anything else from the commission, or if not, I'll move it out to public
Casey.
comment.
Casey's
Casey.
raising his
Commissioner
hand.
Kill.
Hey, thank you, Vice Chair Young. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat that Commissioner Barnes is in. My preference is to remain neutral. As you read this, I mean, it really hints at a situation similar to, the lawsuit that NDOW is currently engaged in with Pershing County. The advice that I was given is that this bill would not put the department in that situation across the board, but yeah, at this point, it's pretty muddy waters for, lack of a better term on a water bill. But at this point, I'd choose to remain neutral.
Perfect. Thank you, Commissioner Kill.
And also, real quickly for the record, I'd just like to make note that Commissioner McNinch has joined us as well.
All right. Well, with that, do we have anything else from the commission on AB 9? If not, I'll move it out to public comment.
No public comment.
Thank you, Linda. We'll bring it back to the commission. I would echo Commissioner Kill and Commissioner Barnes. I believe the amendment keeps us in neutral, so that's where I'm going to be at. So if I don't see any other comment or hands raised. So with that, I'll go ahead and make a motion that the Board of Wildlife Commissioners will be in neutral on AB 9.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Kill. I've got a motion for myself, a second for Commissioner Kill. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those against nay. Looks like unanimous on AB 9 to be in neutral. Alejandra, next bill.
Thank you. Next, we've got Senate Bill 101. Senate Bill 101 was scheduled for a work session in Senate Natural Resources on April 1, 2025, where a motion to amend and do pass was successfully made. The Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners voted to support Senate Bill 101 with the proposed amendment. Next, we've got Senate Bill 215. Senate Bill 215 was last heard March 11, 2025 in Senate Natural Resources. There are no upcoming hearings scheduled for Senate Bill 215. The Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners voted to support Senate Bill 215 with the submission of an amendment by the department to expand the scope of situations in which a salvage permit can be issued. The amendment has been submitted and accepted by Senator Titus. Next, we have Assembly Bill 132. I'm so sorry, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, Alejandra, we need to vote on SB 215. Was that amendment out before or after we took the last vote?
The amendment was not out at the last commission meeting, but the motion was to support it with the submission of an amendment from the department. So I would probably ask Dag Burkett what his opinion is.
You can do either, whatever you guys would like to do. This is up to you guys.
Thank you, Dag Burkett. So I'm comfortable with moving forward. We've already taken a vote on it. We kind of alluded to there's going to be an amendment that from the department we'd be in support. So I'm good moving on to the next one.
Next, we have Assembly Bill 132. Assembly Bill 132 was scheduled for a work session in Assembly Natural Resources on March 26, 2025, where a motion to do pass was successfully made. The Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners voted to support Assembly Bill 132 as introduced. And we've got Assembly Bill 245 next. AB 245 was last heard March 27, 2025. There are no upcoming hearings scheduled for AB 245. Assemblymember Howdigi has since submitted an amendment which would add an exemption for target shooting, sport shooting, hunting, or predator range control. The Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners voted to oppose Assembly Bill 245 as originally introduced.
Thank you, Alejandra. So there was an amendment on AB 245. I might ask Director Janae Dag Burkett. I know there's been significant concerns historically, not only this session, but the prior session on AB 245. With that amendment, has it addressed the number one concern? Again, there's multiple concerns from my understanding as to youth and semi-automatic shotguns.
I will offer to Burkett if he has an opinion. And in the meantime, can you click the amendment alley and just be able to or show that on the screen, just so that the commission is aware of what it is.
Are you guys seeing the amendment, or am I only sharing the Excel document?
Looks like you're only sharing the Excel document right now.
Is the amendment showing up on the screen now?
Yes.
Beautiful.
So when you look at this bill, it currently reads, the new language in it is a person who is less than 21 years of age shall not handle or have in his or her possession, or under his or her control, any semi-automatic shotgun, semi-automatic centerfire rifle. Person who violates this subsection is guilty of a gross misdemeanor. And so this exception would allow somebody under the age of 21 who is using a semi-automatic, either shotgun or centerfire rifle, for target shooting, sport shooting, hunting, or predator range control, to be exempted from this new rig. And so I think one of the concerns that I've heard in the past was the 21 years of age. The fact that it is a gross misdemeanor, and then I believe second offense is a category B felony. I think in the feedback that I've heard from sportsmen and others on this is concern with those two pieces, is that the age of it and the degree of prosecution, or how they would be handled with a gross misdemeanor and a felony on, should they have offense. So I think this helps alleviate some of that concern, but I think that still remains in that age and concern as far as what it is.
Thank you, Director Jan. I've kind of heard the same. I mean, obviously, yes, it improves AB 245, but there still are concerns on AB 245. So with that, any questions from the commission? Don't see any. So with that, we will take AB 245 out for public comment.
We have some comment.
Thank you, members of the commission. Rob Beamer from the Carson City Advisory Board here. We discussed this in depth, and we did receive public comment from multiple like youth shooting groups, mainly 4-H, Western Nevada Keystones, FFA, Future Farmers of America, as well as concerned parents as well. They did also couple the what Director Janae pointed out, what I think everybody has resoundingly heard as far as disdain against this bill with regard to the age demographic, or the age restriction, as well as the penalties that go along with this. Couple of the groups pointed out something that, we thought what would be good for the commission to at least consider, and the department to at least consider. And that is that, even with the amendment, the fact that there's this even being passed would potentially cause conflict with regard to enforcement. And I think that's what the biggest concern was if shooting groups were to create, like I'm thinking of a Boy Scout event, for example, or out on BLM land or on someone's private property. It's not an established range, right? But if they were to create a range for target shooting or in some sort of like a varsity games type event or something like that, that could be misconstrued and there could be the potential legal action there. And so I talked to Steve Carmichael out at the Clark County shooting facility, and we discussed this pretty extensively, and we'll still point out that the majority of the youth that we train and just new shooters that we train, we utilize semi-automatic firearms to help with recoil management and to help them to be successful with target shooting, right? There's so much we can do with semi-automatics that we can't really leverage with other action types. And so I would just leave that for maybe some consideration. We all voted that we are 100% opposed to this bill to Carson City Cab. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mike Xavier, Douglas County Cab. We spoke about this pretty extensively as well, and we strongly oppose this bill. You can sign up for the military at 17 years old, and the only option you have is semi-automatic rifles. So to take this away is overreaching. Thank you very much.
No more comment.
Thank you, Linda. All right, I'll bring it back to the commission on AB 245. I believe, as the department and others have discussed, there are still some concerns on AB 245, so I'm still in opposition. So any other comments from the commission?
I would echo the same feelings of being in opposition to this AB 245 for Humboldt County in the rural area.
Thank you, Commissioner Booth.
Yeah, and I'm opposed as well. And I think the devil's in the details, even with an exemption for target shooting, sport shooting, hunting, and predator control. You know, what happens if a individual that's underage is traveling to hunt or something like that? I think the enforcement side of it, I see as being a major hurdle too, and the devil's in the details and how this is written. So I'm going to be opposed to it.
Thank you, Commissioner Cavilla. Anything else from the commission? All right. Not seeing any, I'm going to make a motion to oppose AB 245.
I'll second.
I've got a motion from myself and a second from Commissioner Cavilla. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those against nay. Looks like we have a unanimous vote in opposition to AB 245. Alejandro, next bill.
Thank you. The next two bills that I'll present are for the commission's consideration to be added to the tracking sheet. The first one is Assembly Bill 429. Section 1 of Assembly Bill 429 clarifies that any person, including a state or local government or any agency is authorized to create, convey, record, assign, release, modify, terminate, or otherwise alter or affect an easement for conservation in the same manner as other easements. Assemblymember Watts has proposed an amendment to this, which specifically adds the word reserve to section 1, line 5 of the bill language. This addition was requested to provide clarification, as reserve is a legal term commonly used in real property matters involving conservation easements. AB 429 was heard March 31 in Assembly Natural Resources, and there are no scheduled meetings for this bill. No upcoming scheduled meetings for this bill.
Thank you, Alejandro. And just to note again, if these bills aren't heard outside of exempted bills by next Friday and work sessioned out of committee, they will die. So with that, I will before I open up to the commission, I might ask the department director, Janae, or whomever to kind of discuss their thoughts on AB 429.
Yes, thank you for the record, Alan Janae. So this is, I would say the department's in support of this. Conservation easements are a tool that we work with voluntary landowners should they want to enter into an agreement on conservation easement. We work with them to put those into effect. Originally, when these regulations were written, conservation easements were kind of new and novel, and it was kind of kept in a narrow scope of who could do it. I think Nevada Department of Wildlife, with most other state agencies and county governments, are in support of this bill to try to get this across the line and clarify that basically anyone can work on conservation easements. And I think that would be a good thing for Nevada's wildlife to do this work.
Thank you, Director Janae. All right. Any questions for Director Janae or comments on AB 429? If not, I'm going to move out to public comment.
No public comment.
Oh, thank you, Linda.
Apologies.
You're on top of it this morning. All right, I'm going to bring it back to the commission on AB 429. And again, I'm going to echo Director Janae's comments. You know, conservation easements are obviously extremely beneficial for wildlife, and so I'm in support.
And Vice Chair Young, I would just briefly echo those same sentiments. I mean, we've all seen firsthand the value with conservation easements. And anyway, I just wanted to echo that I would definitely be in support of this AB 429.
Thank you, Chair Rogers. All right, I don't see anything else from the commission. So with that, I'm going to make a motion for the Board of Wildlife Commissioners to be in support of AB 429. All those in favor say aye.
Do you want a second first?
I do, Commissioner Cavilla. Would you like to give me that second? Sorry, I saw the ending. Is that a second from you, Commissioner Cavilla?
Yes.
All right. I've got a motion from myself, a second from Commissioner Cavilla. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right. All those against nay. Unanimously passes AB 429 and supports. Alejandra, next bill.
The next bill for consideration is Assembly Bill 486. Section 2 of Assembly Bill 486 increases the fee for the sale of a tire from $1 to $2. Section 2 additionally adds that the state treasurer shall credit half of the money transmitted pursuant Section 2 of the bill to the Wildlife Crossings account in the state general fund. There is no scheduled meetings for AB 486 at this moment.
Thank you, Alejandra. And so this bill, I believe, is coming about. It's because unfortunately the budget is flat or under. So the likelihood of the current Wildlife Crossings bill of $5 million appropriation is unlikely. So therefore, AB 486 was introduced, which again it increases the tire fee by, I believe, $1. So with that being said, I will open up to the commission for any comments or questions on AB 486. I don't see any, so I'll open up to public comment. Linda?
No public comment.
All right, so I'll bring it back and give my own opinion on AB 46 because unfortunately it looks unlikely to get the $5 million from the general fund for wildlife crossings. I'm in support of the bill. I think it makes sense. And again, I'm personally in huge support of wildlife crossings. And I think moving forward with however we can get the funds to improve the migration corridors for the wildlife and the landscape is beneficial. So with that, any other comments or questions from the commission? Don't see any. So with that, I'll go ahead and make a motion in support of AB 486, and I'm looking for a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Chair Rogers. So I've got a motion from myself, a second from Chair Rogers. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those against, nay. I don't see any. So AB 486 passes, or it will be unanimous in support from the commission. Alejandro, I'll move it back to you. Do we have any other bills or any other topics?
Vice Chair Young, that concludes my overview.
Thank you, Alejandra, and great work as always on the legislative bill tracking list. So with that, Chair Rogers, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I just wanted to thank you, Vice Chair Young, publicly, as well as Alejandra, for such great, diligent work on all these bills. There is a lot. Obviously, we've been going for almost an hour this morning on these various bills, and you guys made it seem very seamless, which is a process that I know is pretty laborsome. So thank you for your diligence in staying on top of all those bills that are so critical to Nevada and our wildlife. So thank you for that. All right. With that, we will then close agenda item number 4, and we will move on to agenda item number 5. And this is future commission meetings and commission committee assignments for possible action. The next commission meeting will be held virtually and is scheduled for May 2nd and 3rd. I think it'll be in person as well as a virtual component, but anyway, May 2nd and 3rd, 2025 in Reno. The commission will review and discuss potential agenda items for that meeting. The commission may change the date, time, meeting location. At this time, the chairman designate and adjust committee assignments. Any anticipated committee meetings that may occur prior to the next commission meeting may be discussed. So with that, Secretary Janae, any items regarding our upcoming meeting on May 2nd and 3rd?
So we're working off of the list that we brought forward from the last commission meeting. Those big things that are sticking out there is there will be a emerging technology committee report prior to that meeting. Additionally, there will be a heritage committee meeting. And then we have a petition that is coming forward on a hound hunting permit. We will also have a 2025 predator predation management plan amendment. And then we'll have the 2026 predator management plan. We will be bringing back the coyote calling contest regulations. And then there will be a report out of the legislative committee. And then everybody's favorite time of year, it will move to quotas. Also before that, we will have the biennial big game release plan. We will get an update on Cortez sheep release, and we'll have an amendment to that. And then we'll move into the black bear and big game quotas. That is the list of the items that we currently have stand ready for any further recommendations the commission may have.
We're going to be able to get all that in 2 days, or do we need to extend it out a couple more?
Yeah, we're working hard. We're working hard.
All right, perfect. Thank you for that. Anything from the commission at all? Questions, concerns, comments regarding our upcoming meeting? Yes, Vice Chair Young.
Chair, just on the Emerging Technologies Committee, do we have another date scheduled the week of our next commission meeting or not?
The 28th of April.
Thank you, Linda.
All right, perfect. Anything else from the commission? Any other questions, concerns, comments at this time? All right. All right. How about any public comment with regards to future commission meetings?
No public comment, Chair Rogers.
All right, perfect. Bring it back to the commission. Anything else from the commission? Not necessarily think we need to take any action on this. I think we're all set and ready to go for May 2nd and 3rd in Reno. All right, seeing none on agenda item, no additional comment on agenda item number 5. I will close that and we will move to agenda item number 6. And this is public comment period, informational. Public comment will be limited to 3 minutes. No action can be taken by the commission at this time. Any item requiring commission action may be scheduled on a future commission agenda. Persons making comment are asked to begin by stating their name for the record. So with that, is there any public comment here on Zoom today?
No, Chair Rogers.
All right, perfect. Seeing none, I think that covers us for today. A lot of good stuff. So I really appreciate everybody's engagement today. And with that, we will adjourn our meeting for today, and we'll look to see everybody back again May 2nd and 3rd. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. Be well.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Be safe.